Today, I'm back again with another Rolled Up interview, and here to talk about their track Victory, I'm joined by Andy, Electron-C, as well as Frankie, MC Freak. How are you both doing today?
Fantastic, bro.
Doing well, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. So, I remember seeing you, Frankie, perform your vocals for this track over Kick It by Snapback this past April at a Torque event, which was actually unreleased at the time. And then sometime later, me and Andy were having a production session where he showed me this track as a whip. I think that was the case, right? Okay. Yeah. And I think I must have shown him or mentioned the video that I took at Torque, but I can't remember exactly. And he had referenced your vocals in relation to the track. And then when I finally put two and two together, my mind was kind of blown. So I thought that was the coolest thing. I wonder, how did those vocals end up becoming the ones featured on this track in particular, and who initiated the start of the overall process?
Well, the vocals initiated from the record I'm currently that we just dropped with Electron-C. He had a record that he was looking to make and extended himself to me and asked me if I was interested in doing some vocals there. And Tim, thought it was a great idea, and then we put it together. But I had used them vocals at Torque and such, just to get the vocals out there so people can get familiar with the vocals so that it had some kind of connection when they did hear the record drop. So it was kind of like little teasers out at live sets so that when this one dropped, people would kind of have the same reaction.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting because I was actually wondering how is that these particular ones, were they just something you played out, or not played out but performed out quite a bit at different shows, just kind of testing them out?
Well, we had already written it in the song. I think I was already in production and getting mastered and getting completed. So knowing that it was coming, I personally was running them across the crowd and see how they felt. You know what I mean? And we got some great responses over those vocals.
Okay. So for the theme of this track, and Andy, I'll start with you. Explain in your words what it means to you, as well as how you feel like it fits within and represents the tone of the compilation.
So the way that this track started out, it was a demo that I kind of put together as a bootleg. And I didn't, after I kind of got through it a little bit, I didn't feel like a bootleg was the right way to go forward with it. The music was good, and I was like, I really need some vocals in this. So I went to Frankie and I was like, yo, how would you feel about jumping on this track? And instantly, he was on board. It was a good fit. And we were chatting back and forth, and he mentioned, he's like, so what's the kind of vibe? What's the overall, thought behind this creation? I was like, you listen to it first and you tell me what you think. And when he came back to me, he came back to it with victory is the first word that came to his mind, overcoming the obstacles. And I was like, that's exactly where I was coming from when I was putting this tune together, because it's about beating the stuff that happens in life that is really challenging and kind of knocks you down, the stuff you'll struggle with as an artist, where sometimes it's just man, it's not good enough. Absolutely, this is amazing. This is great. You kind of go back and forth on where you sit on that. So it's about overcoming those obstacles in life and those major challenges, and still being able to stand up and crush it and put out amazing art and kind of push forward with it. So I swear the vocal line just absolutely gets me. We stand, we rise, we fall, we come back and conquer it all. And that was the anthem, man. That was just, homie just nailed it. So yeah, and I felt like it was good vibe for the Summer Vibes Mixtape. It's got that kind of that anthem in there, that hook, and I don't know, man. We're real proud to be on this record, so it's pretty dope.
I agree with you on that, and I kind of felt the same way. Frankie, how would you touch on what he just said in that regard?
I mean, yeah, he nailed it on what he said there. But when he sent me the record, I was kind of free to just give him my interpretation, because when I hear music as an MC, I see music, a storyline, or the music frequency will push me in a way where I can almost see a pictures or stories going by. And it puts me into the feel of what that song is, whether it's dark or whether it's uplifting or running or whatever it is, whatever picture or video comes to my mind is where my vocals go. So when I answered him with that, that's what I heard. And as we wrote it, you know, shout out to Cadillac, which we cut it over at the studio with him, and he had some input as well when we were working on this record. And we just wrote it there and cut it, and felt like when he heard it, he felt like it was right where it needed to be. So we were excited to get it out and get it to the public and get a response off of it, and happy that it was on the compilation as well. You know?
Absolutely. Yeah, man, I feel like the response has been very well as well. So you mentioned how it kind of has like that anthemic feel to it, and it's funny because I actually wrote that down in one of the notes while I was kind of drafting up these questions, because like I personally felt like it has that feel as well, or sort of like an energetic kind of like feel good track that's fun to drop in sets. And that was doubly evident when I was recording the album mix, because that's exactly what I got from it. So does that also sound like an accurate assessment to you both? Or like does that kind of correlate with what you both kind of just explained to me?
I think so, man. I've played that tune out a couple of times live, 3 times live. And it just smacks, man. Like the crowd response, the way that the vocals flow, it's just like it's just sexy. And when you did it on the studio mix, like where you mixed out right there at that break, was perfect. So shout out to the official Summer Vibes Volume 2 mixtape mix session by Corsi.
Thank you.
yeah. Shout out to you, Coach. That was fire.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you both. Okay, so we'll start with you this time, Frankie. What was your favorite part about bringing it to life? And was there anything else in the production process that sticks out to you that you might remember fondly?
Yeah. Well, what I love doing on this particular record was stacking vocals and putting some harmonies together.
Yes.
We could really fill the track out. I've always been a vocalist. Just really started focusing a lot more on it since I since I jumped on board with Rolled Up. But the fun part for me in there with Cadillac was stacking vocals, getting the harmonies right, and then playing that scratch version back. And you just look at each other and you go, that's it. You know, it's just full. Let's add one more low. And then he brings it back and he turns it up, and it just hits a certain frequency that vibrates and communicates with your spirit. And I'm glad that record plays out well in public, because what I felt from the record was a frequency is coming out of that record with the tones and the voices, the sounds and the production. And when you collect all of that together, it becomes a motivating, inspiring, and like a triumphant song. So people can relate to it, at least spiritually, lyrically, and through the sound. They're absorbing it in every way they can. So it touches a certain level of frequency where I feel it blesses the people. You feel me? So the fun part for me was building those frequencies, stacking those sounds, trying to be one sound with Andrew's production and be an instrument inside of his production. You know what I'm saying? And there's a funny part where where we talk about standing, taking steps forward and back in the break. He's laughing because he knows. So, and we're not sure. And then Tim's a funny guy, so we're joking back and forth. And long story short, we end up just Facebook messaging and hitting a record in the Facebook and just saying it through there, all like ratty phone like. And he took it, and it turned into like a phone call. It was pretty cool. So that was a fun part as well of the record.
Yeah,
I love that, dude. Like it's really interesting just how things can come together like that, and like you just said with a phone call, it's crazy, man. And like, so what about you, Andy? Is there anything in particular you remember fondly about the production of this?
Mixing all those layers is different than what I'm like as an engineer, as a producer, like. Getting these like lush layers to just dial in just absolutely perfectly was it was a challenge. It wasn't like insurmountable, but it was definitely a challenge to kind of like, which one do you want to be prominent at what points as it moves through the cadence, dude. It's like, it was amazing to have that like the way that those harmonies really come out, and after that second verse, like because I broke the verse into like two segments. Right before it goes into the breakdown, that it goes back into that hook, and it's just like those layers are just lush, man. And it just like, it really resonated with me because the music pauses for a second, and it just like his voice just like it just nailed it. It was just cool.
Yeah, dude, he's definitely got that voice. It's amazing, man.
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. So my next question to you guys, we'll start with you again, Andy, this time. What does it mean to finally have this track out and to have it featured on this compilation?
It means the world to me. I really respect what Tim and Aaron and then the broader group, like you and Mike and all the artists, like, I really respect what the vision is for this label. It's as an artist, it's profound for me to be involved with this. Like, these people are so freaking talented. It's kind of ridiculous to be involved in it. So there's that, and then on top of it, these guys are my friends, my homies, my brothers. Like, and when we get together, it's like that. Like, it's just straight nonstop good times. These people are some of the best people I've ever met in my life. So it's big on multiple levels on what Rolled Up's trying to put out there. Their vision for the future of drum and bass, and the way that, you know, the United States, in particular Florida, but me too, because I'm in Charlotte. The way that we push forward with this sound, man, we've got big dreams, and like just pillar by pillar, we keep knocking them down and pushing forward. It's dope to be involved in this, man. It's a movement. It really is.
Absolutely, man, and it doesn't seem like it's slowing down anytime soon. What about you, Frankie? What does it mean to finally have this track out and be part of this compilation?
It means a ton to me. You know, I'm on the back nine in music, you know what I'm saying? So to be rolling up with Rolled Up, and for Tim to have belief in me, to be able to, you know, allow me to represent this label and put me out on compilations with so many talented producers. And it means a lot to me. I'm grateful, I'm humbled, I'm excited, and I also become driven to produce, you know, top tier music to contribute, you know, because Tim told me that everyone he brings in is they have something to offer and contribute, not just only a talent but a gift, you know, on their things that they push the label. So the group of people that has come together, that they put together, Tim and Aaron and Mike and you and just everyone that has believed in Rolled Up Records and is building Rolled Up Records as a unit. You know what I mean? It's amazing to be a part of something. And I always say that everybody wants to be a part of something great, right? So you either be great or you be a part of something great. And I believe Tim and Aaron and Rolled Up are being great. So there will be many people who want to be a part of this because it's great. So for me, the culture, the music, what we're doing in Florida with open arms and just with the respect and kind of building stateside drum and bass, I'm down to be a part of that, and I'm privileged to be a part of this movement.
Absolutely, man. I'm definitely grateful to help be a part of it as well, and to work alongside you both and everybody involved with the label, and just like to see the camaraderie that everybody has together. Like, we're all here for each other, and we all want to help build each other up and help each other improve. And I just love that we all can come together like this and work on certain projects. And to have this compilation come out is kind of a microcosm of that kind of concept, if you will. So again, I do appreciate that I could be here working with everybody in the capacity that I have. And it's definitely going to be in the form of hopefully releasing my own music one day with them. But for now, I'm so happy to be here with you guys and to help you with anything that you need. And I'm just truly grateful for the individuals that are involved with the label.
Yeah. Well, we look forward to your music when it comes. It's not if, it's when.
Absolutely. Andy, Frankie, I think that's all the questions I have for you both, and I truly appreciate your time today. Thank you so much for joining me for this call.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, dude.
You can try and break it down, but we're gonna get it shaken now. To see who's who, what are you gonna do?